Golden Globe, Emmy, and Tony Award winner John Lithgow is one of Hollywood's most acclaimed actors, one who always surprises us with his choice of roles.
Most recently, John played a serial killer on the hit series Dexter, and then went on to play one of the great world leaders, Winston Churchill, on the Netflix series The Crown.
Now he stars in the new NBC show Trial and Error, where he's left defending himself after his wife was murdered. Oh, and by the way, it's a comedy. Take a look.
This is not the trial.
You realize, of course, that this whole thing is absurd. I loved my wife. After lunch, I was waiting for the cable guy to show, so I went into the yard to roller size.
You mean roller skate?
No. Roller skating is for children. Roller sizing is a very graceful form of self-expression. It's much easier when you're not shackled.
John Lithgow, good morning to you.
And you're laughing. I'm delighted.
Yes, well, I was just about to say, let's talk about this, because it's a comedy, but your character is on trial for killing his wife.
That's right.
How do you do that?
I may or may not have murdered my wife. A real, a bona fide comedy premise. and yeah, it's a send up of the jinx, making a murderer, the staircase. The creators of the show, Jeff Astroff and Matt Miller, they saw these shows and realized, just turn the dial a couple of clicks to the left and you have farce. And that's what we've got.
I'm intrigued by this roller sizing thing. I've never heard of this roller sizing, and your character's very...
Neither have I. I'm still not sure whether they invented that.
Were you an avid roller skater before taking on this role, or is this something you learned?
I think I roller skated a bit about 50 years ago.
Back when you had a skate key?
I won't tell you whether I had a stunt roller sizer or not.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
By the way, so you come off of this role that everybody is just raving about in The Crown.
I bow down
as
to
Winston Churchill, which is just incredible. The transformation. Did you have any hesitation about taking on such an iconic character in history?
Oh, yes. I mean, I was very excited, but very scared all at the same time, which is a good way to approach a job. I mean, I was acting with 100 wonderful English actors, and I was absolutely the only American, except the ones playing Americans. And I just sort of plunged in. They were incredibly welcoming. They made me feel more confident than I felt myself. And I just did lots and lots of work, just immersed myself in his history and his physical life.
Do you ever get a gut feeling that something is going to be... I mean, The Crown is huge. It's one of those things where I wanted to see it, and I sat one afternoon and just binge watched, as they say, episode after episode after episode. People love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we knew we were doing something fine. We didn't realize it was going to be quite this popular. And then go leaping into something completely and utterly different. Trial and error.
Yeah.
And you talk about a gut, about a role. You were offered the role. Is it true that you were offered the role of Frasier on Cheers, and you turned it down?
Sadly, yes. On the other hand, if I had played Frasier, it never would have been a huge hit. I defer to Kelsey. He is Frasier. I actually did appear as one of the voices, the call-in voices on it. And Kelsey and I played William F. Buckley and Gore Vidal, the voices, in a wonderful Best of Enemies, a wonderful documentary a couple of years ago. Wow. But that's as close as I've come to actually being Frasier.
And then talk about Dexter. We were coming down the stairs. Nick, you were mentioning just how much you loved it.
Easily my favorite season of that show was when you played the Trinity Killer.
Thank
I mean,
you.
just absolutely haunting.
Well, I try to mix it up.
For sure.
And in this case, I mean, I just spent the entire fall laughing my head off with this wonderful cast of actors, Nick D'Augusto and Sherry Shepherd, and Stevie Boyer, who played the Fool when I played King Lear in Central Park a couple of years ago. Just a wonderful experience.
Now, you've done stage and features and television. Do they all work different muscles as an actor? Do you have a favorite discipline of those?
Well, I grew up in a theater family, and the first 1/3 of my career was almost all New York Broadway theater. So that's kind of my tap route.
Yeah.
and talk about using all your muscles. That's the one that requires all your muscles.
Yeah.
Well, John Lithgow, you are absolutely fantastic. It's a delight
Thank you.
to meet you this
Well,
morning.
wait till you see this comment.
Really? Trial and Error, speaking of which, it premieres Tuesday, March 14th at 10/9 Central, right here on NBC.
That's right.
That's right. Just like the good old days.
Rock from the sun.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.